dive into this. Let us dive in. And sporting in the bottom right-hand corner of GoldenEye, we have our German Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Berlin International Gaming. BIG, it is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Mystery Gaming. It is CranKy. Let us go. Again, just posting in the chat, making sure predictions open. Everyone is aware. Also, massive shout out to Macrocosm in the chat as well. Big shout out to Macrocosm for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 5 months. Almost half a year of support. Thank you so much, Macrocosm. We do appreciate the support. Hope you've been enjoying the content, the casting. Hope you've been having a great time. Welcome. Welcome, of course. Welcome back to ESL Open Cup Asia. And it's been a fun tournament so far. Able to feature Trap versus ShoWTimE earlier. Able to feature Silky. Now we have CranKy. And on the other side of the bracket, Solar is also creeping up on those finals. He's getting there. We'll see if he can be stopped as well. Again, you can have a look at the bracket yourselves. !B in the chat if you guys want to have a gander at how the bracket has been progressing. And CranKy opening up economically here. Okay, single gas opener from our Chinese Terran player. Interesting. Not opening up aggressively yet. Going for the expansion. ShoWTimE is posing a bit of a nuisance here. It does delay the CC for a second or two. But CranKy will get it on location. Now, ShoWTimE has confirmed that it's an economic opener, so he should be feeling pretty comfortable coming into this. Can settle into his own builds, going for the Gate Cyber expand. Just a standard safe opener out of ShoWTimE. Not cutting any corners. With this, we're going for our first Adept. Adept can then shade across the map, can pose a threat to the CC, can threaten to shade into the main. So we have our factory follow-up. Okay, so CranKy is not going for a 3 racks or a 3 CC build. He is going for that factory. Interesting, but that is a second racks on the way. Now, this is quite aggressive. We're delaying the starport by quite some time. We could go for a third racks as well for a 3-1-1 setup. And this could be the beginning of 2-base aggression from CranKy. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on the timing of that. Yeah, there it is. There's the third racks. So, yep, there's that 3-1-1 setup. This doesn't have to be an all-in. This could just be an aggressive start to expand thereafter. Or we could pull the boys. This is the beginning of like a 2-base all-in where you pull the boys, you send it across the map. We saw it a lot over the past couple of days from players like Hon Mono, players like Ubu Thermal, and even at DreamHack. We saw some of the Korean Terrans embrace this sort of style as well. See how committed CranKy is going to be with this. Typically this is going to be rushing to Stim, and it's going to be a Stim timing. With this Tech Lab, Stim is going to be on the way. We're going to be building up a bio army. We could sprinkle in some Marauders. We'll see how CranKy builds up. Meanwhile, across the map, ShoWTimE is settling in, going for his tech of choice. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener into Blink. Very safe opener out of ShoWTimE, and it's going to be 2-gate Blink into a third, question mark. Ooh, a more economic build. As the Adept does shade across the map. Ooh, takes down 1 Marine, takes down a second. And 2 Marines go down, but the Cyclone does make it back in time, and we don't lose any SCVs. And I don't see a third gateway. So this is going to be a 2-gate build into a third base. Very economic here out of ShoWTimE. Not as safe as I thought he was going to play. Tank production has already commenced. I believe we're going to be pushing with 2 tanks, maybe 3 tanks, but I believe 2 tanks is lined up with Stim. And then I don't see a starport. We could just pull the boys. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. So I'm a little bit concerned for ShoWTimE. A little bit. This is not the most amazing setup that he has, but we can move out with these Stalkers. The point of moving out with Stalkers at this moment, would be to slow down the push. Would be to slow it down, chip away at the army here in the center of the map, force a Stim, maybe force a Siege, maybe even pick off the tank as it moves out. There's potential, and here we go. The army is marauding around a little bit more, being a little bit more active. We're still waiting for our upgrades to kick in. Stim is finishing up combat shields. Ooh, a little bit supply blocked. Not ideal. The Bay is on the way after the third base. Again, the Bay has been delayed in favor of the economy. ShoWTimE working towards a longer game. This is all looking up as we catch the Observer. It's time to go. It's time to go. We catch the Observer. Limited vision here. The army is moving out for ShoWTimE. Second tank has arrived. We go for the Unsiege, and we're pushing. Let's go. Coffee is moving out. ShoWTimE does catch the move out. And can we pick up the tank? Does get a couple hits. Here we go. The boys have been pulled. It is a 2-base all-in that we did mention. And one way or another, the game is about to end. Either Coffee kills ShoWTimE or he dies trying. We do get a couple hits in. Again, it's so important here to just pick away at the Marines. Oh. To pick up whatever we can before the army gets across the map. And we have softened up some Marines, but we haven't killed anything yet. One Marine. So far, one Marine has gone down for one Adept. The boys are here. The boys have arrived as Coffee's rallying everything across the map. Good kiting here from ShoWTimE. Pulling back. We have 2 shield batteries at the third base. We have 2 more on the way. At the natural, boys are being pulled. The Colossus is in production, but without it, we can't hold on. Without it, the boys go down. Zealots as well. The overcharge is putting in a lot of work, but the tanks have sieged. And the shield battery goes down, but the Colossus will come out just in time. Is it going to be enough? ShoWTimE has preserved a lot of his Stalkers, but oh, I spoke too soon. Stalkers go down. The Colossus does pop out. Third base will fall, but that doesn't matter. Coffee needs more than the third. He has to go for the kill. Actually, he's taking a third base of his own. He's crazy. He's expanding. I guess we can, as we're going for the natural. We depower the Robo. Robo is depowered. Big tank shots going up. Zealots, they close the distance. They get on top of one of those tanks. One tank does fall, but the Colossus falls, and Coffee has broken the natural. GG gets called, and Coffee takes game number 1. Let's go. GG, well played. Coffee takes a lead in the series. This is what we spoke about Coffee. He's a very aggressive player and can pose a threat to ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE is still the favorite player, but Coffee is now 1 game away from advancing on into the grand finals. Again, the build of ShoWTimE, it was unfortunate what he was going for. Winding it back a little bit here. Remember, ShoWTimE opened up 2 gates, Blink into a third, into a delayed Bay, into delayed Immortal production, or into delayed Colossus. No safety Immortal either. ShoWTimE was being a little bit greedy. He was being very economic focused, and it took him a while to piece together what was going on. It was so unlucky as well that he lost the Observer as it was moving out across the map, so it was a later scout for ShoWTimE. Everything was, the stars were aligning. Everything was just going so well there for Coffee, and the all-in, it just hit too hard. Just hit like a truck. Sure, we did slow it down a little bit. We picked away at some Marines. We got 1 Marine kill before the army moved out across the map. Oh. Coffee snowballs out of control. GG. And will this be a 2-0, or will we go to the ace match? Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our Red Protoss player. From the land of Germany, representing Berlin International Gaming, BIG. You need your support in the chat to force the ace match. As he's down in the series, can he bounce back? It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Mystery Gaming, leading the series 1-0 with the 2-base all-in. What do we have planned for game number 2? It is Coffee. Here we go. Now, I don't expect the same build 2 games in a row. I don't expect another 2-base all-in. Yep, there we go. We have a second gas being taken. So already the opener for Coffee is different. We're going to be opening up 2 gas, which is going to lead into a faster factory. It's going to be a delayed expansion. This is, you can take it one of 2 ways. A very safe build, yes, but it can also be quite aggressive. It's very tech heavy, right? Because of the faster factory, you can go into a faster starport. You can go Reactor Reaper Hellion. You can go for a Hellion drop, a mine drop, double Cyclone. There's a couple of different options here for Coffee. He's got options with how he wants to open this up. Does have options. As ShoWTimE is going for his own expansion back at home. Just a gate cyber expand. Standard opener out of ShoWTimE so far. No big tech paths yet. There's that factory on the way, as we did mention, as it was a double gas opener. And where do we go from here? My eyes, for now, are mainly on Coffee. There we go. It's going to be Reaper first into the reactor. This could be for Reactor Reaper Hellion for some economic damage. The probe is hidden, as the probe does barely avoid the gaze of this Reaper. So we hide the worker. Now we can go back in for another scout. It's a very nice move here by ShoWTimE, keeping that probe alive. Reaper gets across the map. It's going to be the CC on the high ground. Very safe expansion. The probe won't get eyes on the CC on the low ground because of that. So ShoWTimE is a little bit in the dark. Reaper is denied entry into the main. Adept does come out. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of ShoWTimE, looking like another Blink-based opener. Meanwhile, there's the Reacted Reaper and the Hellions. Now, I'm curious to see if we only make 3 Reapers or if we go up to 5. Like, 5 Reapers would be like our tipping point, and it'd be quite committed. With that, we can bust into a mineral line and get some economic damage done. Second rack's on the way. Not a starport. Interesting. And here comes our second and third Reaper. We're going up to another 3 racks. Okay. Marine production. Yep, we're going into marine production. So we have a triple Reaper, double Hellion moving out for some map control. This can pose a threat to the mineral line of ShoWTimE if he's not careful. The goal here is to focus on the Adept, focus on the Stalker, and then bust in and kill some workers back at home. This is a very aggressive build. With the delayed starport, this looks like, once again, a very bio-centric, bio-heavy follow-up here in the mid-game. We're diving in. No shield battery. No shield battery whatsoever. Boys are being pulled. We're diving on that Adept. Adept goes down. And so will the Stalker. Probes are lining up. Oh, workers are going down. The Stalker will fall. But we should clean this up. This could have been worse as we get 3. Oh, it's becoming worse a little bit. 3, 4, 5 probe kills. Can we get more? We bust into the middle line. One of these workers is low. We're going to get a 6th probe. This has been worth it. This is becoming too much damage. 6 workers go down. Not just that, ShoWTimE bled out a Stalker, he bled out an Adept, and back at home, we're building up towards our 3-1-1. Tank production has commenced. This is turning into a very similar follow-up that we just saw in Game 1. We work towards stim, combat shields, a bio army, 2, maybe 3 tanks, and we move out on 2 bases and we pull the boys. And ShoWTimE, his economy is a little bit crippled. He did have a rough early game here. Blink is finishing. We're on 2 gate. Ooh, 2 gate Blink into a 3rd. Okay, once again, another economic opener. Once again, it's going to be the Nexus before the Robo. Oh, wait, no, so my apologies. 3 gate Blink. Okay. 3 gate Blink. Safer build this time at a ShoWTimE. Going for a Dark Shrine. I love this. I love this choice by ShoWTimE. A Dark Shrine would shut down an all-in. The reason for this is because we're on 2 bases, and we should be muling. We're not going to have energy for scans, or at least we shouldn't have energy for scans, so defensive DTs can work quite well. And again, I apologize for miscounting. It is 3 gate Blink, so a very safe build. That means we have extra warp ins, extra Stalkers. First Robo is done, Prism's on the way. Coffee had a good start with the economic damage, but again, ShoWTimE is playing it safe. Playing it safe. It's up to 3 tanks. Oh, building up towards a 4th tank as well. And here comes the move out. But again, DTs can play a pivotal role here, harassing and also defending. Boys have been pulled. The all-in has arrived. And we do have some energy to work with. If we hold on to energy for scans, then Coffee can break the 3rd. 100%. He can break the 3rd and go even more than that. Get even more than that. 3rd base is going to be denied. Tanks do siege up. Yeah, the army has arrived. The base is going to be going down. At the same time, we have the Prism across the map. The Dark Shrine is now done, and DTs, they're warping in. They're warping in across the map. Immortal production has commenced. Again, safety immortals this time for ShoWTimE. But the shield batteries, they're not quite done. We have one. The DT comes in. The scan was still active. DT goes down, the Immortal as well. GG gets called as we snowball out of control, and Coffee takes the 2-0. Coffee advances on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ShoWTimE did play it safe, but ShoWTimE still lost 6 probes in the process. Unfortunately, was not set up at the natural. He had 1 shield battery ready, but we had 2 more still in production, and Coffee was so quick, so crisp to just dive on top of that, siege up in time, and break the natural, break the defenses. Congratulations, Coffee is our first finalist. Let's see. GG, well played. An insane upset here. As ShoWTimE, he was favored. He was favored to be a contender in those finals, but no, ShoWTimE is denied, and Kofi will make it on instead. Congratulations. And do we have an opponent? Do we have the finals ready for us? Do we have our next series? I see Solar out of game. Looks like Solar, he's waiting for either Firefly or Cyan.